right, everybody, it's the Working Fans Podcast, and we're here with Outkast Wrestling Revolution today, and I got the Warlock. Thank you for doing the show, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, man. How did the match go? I was back here.
It was fun. It was good.
Yeah, 5150.
He's a tough competitor, man. He's strong. He's actually a power lifter first.
Yeah.
So he's very strong, tough competitor, but definitely a good guy to have in the ring, you know.
Now they got a fair and stuff going on. How was the atmosphere? How was the crowd?
It was awesome. A bunch of little kids. A bunch of them were they called Mr. Red Pants. So that was the label.
Oh, hey, all right.
Yeah. So Mr. Red Pants, stop scaring the kids. Mr. Red Pants, stop scaring the kids. So,
you connected with the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
What got you into pro wrestling? We'll start off there real quick.
So to be honest with you, it's a funny story. So I played semi-professional football. I played football since I was 8 years old. I never thought of anything else but football.
Yeah.
And going into the championship game, I hurt my ankle and bad. And it looked like I wasn't going to play or do anything. It looked like I was going to have a long recovery. And so I decided to maybe take a break from it. I took about 6 months off, decided I might try coaching. I coached one game and it hurt to not be in the game. I was like, all right, I can't do this. And then I was like, what about wrestling? And I had a couple of friends that were wrestling. And so I was like, well, it's safe. It doesn't hurt. It's easy. It's fake. Right. And all the things that you don't know before you get in. I had watched WWE as a kid and fell off for about a good 10 years as I hit my teen years. So I knew what wrestling, but I didn't really know that much. And then I got out there and I checked out Paradise Alley Wrestling.
Yeah, Paul Roma.
Paul Roma, right.
Yep,
exactly. Yep. So he got me in there and he's like, all right, you're a big guy, but bump. Okay, let's see what you can do, this and that. And so I was like, this is wrestling? I was like, this is it? It actually hurts? You actually make contact with this? And so but I had a lot of fun doing it. And I felt like there was something there to prove. I felt like there was something more that I can give to the industry. And I felt like I can do this. And with hard work and given the time and doing what I could to just better myself, to learn as much as I could and in and out of the ring, as many veterans as I could talk to and find out how to do this. And so really the inspiration came from the veterans that I had met that were good in the ring. That I'll shout him out, Alan Compass. I've been friends with him since before he was Alan Compass, and he's doing really big things in the wrestling world. And he's the one that brought me in and said, "Listen, man, you can do this." And that's pretty much where the inspiration came from.
How many years in right now?
So a year and a half. But to be honest, this was for Outkast Wrestling. This was my debut match. So I'm starting off with this company here. This is my first match with them.
What I'm curious is now, as you're getting into the business, what is one of the things? Do you try to go to different training people as much as you can, or do you wrestle as much as you can, or both, or how does that work for you?
So
you got to balance life too.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, I work a regular 9 to 5 maintenance job, and then so I do balance it. I think that the key is to always train as many places as you can.
Yeah.
I love the style of Paradise Alley Wrestling. They're very old school wrestling style. They're very very good, very entertaining, and I felt like I learned what I could from there up until a point, and I felt like I needed another viewpoint. Basically. Yeah. I needed somewhere where I could learn in a different atmosphere. Not that there was anything wrong with that atmosphere. I just felt like, me personally, I liked going different avenues, and I'm very glad that I did. Because meeting Lou Jacobs and Cindy, one of the best things that's ever happened to me as far as my wrestling career and just in general. Two people that at one point I actually was considering not wrestling anymore. It was a very small period, but I was like, man, I feel like I've hit a wall. I feel like I'm learning, but I'm just like, I feel like it's just the same old things over and over and over and over. And I'm like, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I'm not sure where. And Cindy and Lou said, just come here. And I started to learn under them. I started to different style, a little more loose instead of the more militant type of teaching style. It was more of like, hey, this is how we're going to do this. I'll show you first. We'll do it together type of thing. So it's just a different atmosphere. I enjoyed both. But I feel like there's still other wrestling schools out there calling my name that I could learn more and get more out of.
It's almost like Paradise had a great foundation, all these other great foundation, but Lou kind of came along right when you needed something different to kind of switch it up.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's a thing personally, because some people, they go to Paradise Alley and that's their school. Right. Some people go to Test the Strength and that's their school. Some people go to Outkast Wrestling and that's their school. I wanted to learn. I want to learn, and I felt like I was learning a lot at Paradise. I just feel like I just wanted to open up my options, basically. Sure. You know what I mean? So so leaving, like some people ask me, like, why'd you leave Paradise? What happened?
Yeah.
Nothing. What do you mean? what happened. Like me and Paul to this day have a good relationship. If I called him right now on the phone, I'd be like, hey, Paul, I'd be like, Warlock, what are you up to, knucklehead? You know what I mean? Mario, same thing. The wrestlers over there. There's never been any bad blood. I just like to open my options up. And, you know, so I even went back a few Saturdays ago and just went to go train and say hi and you know, everything. So there's never been any animosity. Just love to train and really get myself to where I know I need.
I think to put it in perspective too, for anyone listening, like if someone stumbled upon this and wasn't a wrestling fan, it's like going to a job and you're learning different positions in different. But you're making yourself more valuable and you're becoming a bit You know, you're better. Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple more things. You said you got injured in football before this. Have you had any injuries? You've been fortunate so far.
In
wrestling, yes.
No, I have not.
Very good.
I had I wouldn't call it an injury. But I tried to springboard in my first like 2 weeks of trying to do. I'm like, yeah, look, I can do this. So I tried to springboard off the top, and my right foot slipped off before I sprung, which made my left foot give. I rolled forward. Now, luckily, I had known how to roll forward, so I just rolled off of it and totally good. But I definitely felt it in the ankle area, but nothing where I literally stretched it out and got right back in the ring. So.
What are some of your goals right now, early on in your career? What are some things you'd like to get done?
So I'd like to get my name established in the industry, in the indie scene. I would love to start doing more shows. I know I've been asked to do some work for Kaiju Wrestling, Kaiju Pro Wrestling, which is really awesome. Mama Kaiju's really cool. The whole crew, they're awesome. So it was nice to go over there, helped out with the ring crew, and then got into a dark match. And then working obviously with the shows at Outkast. There's a couple of other shows that they've approached me and asked, and I just haven't been released yet from the school. So, but now that I am, that's my goal, is to try to get out to as many places, train with as many people, and get to know it. And my eventual goal is to send in my application to Florida and check out the school, you know, the WWE school. So, but for now, for the next, I'd say year or two, I think my main focus is just trying to make sure that I learn exactly who the Warlock is in and out. Right now, I have a very good understanding. The promo work has been coming out awesome, according to, you know, those watching and stuff like that. So I've been very fortunate in that aspect. I actually come from a singing, rapping background. I did that for a long time. I toured around the United States, and COVID kind of shut that down. I actually opened up for some names like Busta Rhymes, Fat Joe. I was making some waves, and that once COVID hit, it kind of shut that down, and I went back into sports. But so I had the opportunity to have performed, be open on the mic, kind of do that whole thing. So it gave me the advantage of being able to do these promos as if it's nothing more than just me being back on the mic, me doing that. So it definitely gives a healthy advantage there, and just trying to I guess just find my place in the scene itself. You know, there's a lot of guys that are out there that have been in the scene for years. I don't know that they're 6'4", 240 pounds. That gives me an advantage, which I definitely will be using and protecting my size while I wrestle. So that's another thing. But it's just finding my place, pretty much, of, you know, not necessarily where I fit in with others, but so much where the Warlock fits in with me, as far as getting this guy down.
I think one thing that sounds like it's going to give you a great advantage here is athletic background, but also, like you said, being on stage, being able to talk, you know, being able to perform, you know, already doing that. And that you have that background, and you've had to deal with adversity, which is also another key thing.
For sure. Oh, no.
So I think it will be just, it's just a fan watching. I'd imagine just getting those reps in. I wish you the best of luck. Is there anything you want to say to fans, but also any social media and stuff? Let them know.
Yeah, guys, if you want to check out, I have my TikTok, which is the.warlock2. My real name is Dominic Giannetti. So if you look up Dom Giannetti on Facebook, if you look up the Warlock on Instagram, warlock.1, you'll find that on there as well. Yeah, I mean, those are my basic contacts. Shout out to my wife for always being every show that I go to, everywhere, doing my makeup, being there, doing my hair. Like, she plays a big role in who the Warlock is. And, you know, I could have somebody who says, sorry, but I'm not interested in wrestling, and walk away from it. But she's been there through the music. She's been there through the football. My number one fan with a big sign that says, let's go down, you know, number 90. So,
and you had friends that showed up for this event.
That too. Yeah. So I'm just
strong
very
support
grateful,
system.
Very, very grateful for my support system, for my parents, for my in-laws. I mean, for my wife, for my friends and family. I mean, I can honestly say that's one thing that I'm very blessed, is that I have a following already, and not just with my family and friends, but with the fandom out there that literally like follows my stuff, that comments on my stuff, that comes out to shows to show support. And like, you know, it just did. I could not do it without them. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody who supports me, loves me, and cares enough to be a part of this. And thank you for doing that. Man, this is amazing.
It was fun. Warlock, thank you so much. Appreciate having you on, man.
Thank
Hope you see more successful outings from you, and we'll hope to have you back on. Thank you, man.
Thank you.